means the government is contemplating presiding over a crash-out from the EU, which the Foreign Secretary in August described as a mistake we would regret for generations. The Business Secretary has said would be crazy. The Work and Pensions Secretary has said is unthinkable.
But yes, I'm very confident that the government will deliver on its plans for a no deal.
Well, under those plans for a no deal, you have 3,500 troops on standby. You're spending hundreds of millions of pounds to ensure that there's clean drinking water in the UK. You're becoming the largest buyer of fridges to store stockpiled medicines. I mean, these are the kind of things you'd expect after a disaster in a third world country, not in Britain in 2018.
I think you'll find we had a referendum where more than 1 million people voted to leave the European Union than voted to stay in.
But did they vote to be poorer?
Million people. People voted to leave the European Union. That's what this government is going to deliver on.
Regardless of if it made them poorer?
They knew they wanted to leave the European Union. And
even if it made them poorer?
No.
The government has denied an apparent leak from the civil service, warning that the public shouldn't book holidays after March 29th next year.
Well, not only has the Prime Minister come back with a bad deal, now she's actually preparing for no deal. She should immediately take no deal off the table. It is being used, I'm afraid to say, to make some of my colleagues almost to blackmail them politically to say, oh, well, if you don't want this dreadful thing called a no deal, which we actually said to you we shouldn't fear, but actually, of course, we should fear, then you must vote for Theresa's deal.
Now, we've worked on a just-in-time basis, which has been about bringing in product, taking out product, all tax-free. That is all put at huge risk, bringing those critical things into the marketplace. And also, in a no deal, British farmers are immediately carved out of the marketplace, so they lose their export to the EU market. Indeed, there is no inspection point at Calais.
You seem to be tempering your language somewhat. In July, you said this was a no deal was an Armageddon scenario. Was that a mistake? Was that Project Fear, or do you stand by that?
We absolutely stand by it. It's catastrophic. I have said we have looked into the abyss when we have looked at no deal, so we absolutely stand by what we have said.
Very briefly, I mean, the Brexit minister says that people, including some of your members, voted for Brexit. Politicians have got to deliver it, haven't they?
I think what was on the table when people voted is not what is on the table now. They were promised market access to the EU. They were promised more money. They were promised a bonfire of regulation. None of that has happened. So,
okay.
You know, we have what we have, but it's not what they voted on.
Minette Batters, thanks very much.